Good morning, friends, and welcome. Let's start with a prayer together. Heavenly Father, Divine Mother, friend, beloved God, great masters, Jesus Christ, Babaji Krishna, Lahiri Mahashaya, Swami Shri Yukteswarji, beloved Master, Paramhansa Yogananda Ji, saints of all religions, we bow at thy feet and ask thy blessings on this satsang. Be with us now, within and all around us. Om Shanti Shanti. Let's hear a song by Swamiji, and then we'll actually watch a short video of about 4 minutes from Swamiji on this topic of being a channel of light and sharing with others.
Lord Most High, our Heavenly Father, all our lives we dedicate to Thee, all our labors, all our joys and woes, all our pleasure, all our melody. Make us each a channel of thy peace. When in darkness, guide us from above. Where there's sorrow, may we sow thy joy. Where there's hatred, may we share thy love. Lord Most High, our Heavenly Father, all our lives we dedicate to Thee, all our labors, all our joys and woes, all our pleasure, all our melody. Make us each a channel of thy peace. When in darkness, guide us from above. Where there's sorrow, may we sow thy joy. Where there's hatred, may we share thy love.
Well, it's wonderful of you all to come to share this event with me. For me, it is a very blessed occasion. You all are part of what has happened, and I'm so grateful for it. And when I see the faces of these people in the choir, when I look at you all, and I see changes in your faces, because of course you have aged. It's been a long time. And yet I have to say that the changes are pleasing changes. It's nice to see more and more love and more joy in your faces. I think that the greatest satisfaction of my life is that. Thank you all. Watching all you singers here, each face was so dear. Each one in this audience, even though I don't know you all, I see purity and divinity and seeking in you, and I'm so happy to be here. Here at Ananda, people try to lift you up, and when you're having a hard time, people try to help you. They don't try to get even with you. There's so much love in this community. As I was watching the choir up here singing, I just felt like weeping, because I saw you're all so dear to me. Remember, you are a child of God. And He loves you much more than you love Him, because He's the source of all love. Pray help me to love you as you love me, because I am your child, and naughty or good, I am still yours. And I think that the example of Ananda in the world is going to be a very powerful one. Master said to somebody, I didn't hear him say this, but to some of the monks he said, if Walter had come sooner, we would have reached millions. And he told me many times, you have a great work to do. You are a part of that great work. But that great work doesn't end here. It ends with what you give to other people. I would like all of you to be Kriyanandas in this respect of going out and sharing these wonderful truths, which you can share with people just as you pass them in the street. Master used to say, if you see somebody with a sad face, shoot him with the buckshot of your smiles. When you see a person in the street looking sad, smile at him. It will help him. Feel kindness toward everybody. Be their friend and share a little bit of your happiness. You can be more help that way than you know. And people like this will spread this wave of joy throughout the world. It will help the world, and it will help you. Master said, the instrument is blessed by that which flows through it. And the more you help others, the more you will feel helped yourself. Somebody was here recently and said, I didn't meet one unkind person. That's a statement in this world where there's so much unkindness. Think in terms of sharing with other people. As long as we give to others, life will give back to us. As long as we are trying to help other people start communities and to help other people in the world, Ananda will flourish. This can go on for thousands of years, if you will. It depends on you all, your children, everything. I know that we will be better and remain fresh and living as long as we live in God. God bless you all.
Good morning, everyone. It's such a joy to see Swamiji, and this is how he lived his life. And he urged us all the time to share with others, to care about each other, to show kindness, to help people to be inspired, to keep inspired ourselves so that we can help other people. Master said at one time to the disciples, I see you all as light. You don't know how beautiful you all are. Everything is filled with light. And as we look at ourselves, sometimes we feel like, well, I don't feel that, or I have all these problems, or I have so many wrong habits or bad attitudes, or I don't know if he would really say that about me, but perhaps he would. And in each of us is that light. And as we meditate every day, and as we serve, and as we chant, and all the practices that we do, we become more and more filled with light. And as we also are receiving Master's blessings, the blessings of the gurus, or receiving their grace, Master said, I will give you lots of my good karma so that you can get there. So he's filling us to overflowing. And what can we do when we're overflowing? With blessings, with light, with love, with joy. It's completely natural to share that with others and to be a channel of that light and those blessings that have come to us. It's completely natural to not hold it back just for yourself. I remember Swamiji, when he would he was writing a new book, he would have everybody reading. There would be so many people in the room with different pages, passing the pages around. He wanted to share what he had written, and he wanted people's feedback. When he was writing new music, he would have people in, let's hear this song. Okay, let's try this song. He was sharing. I remember once he came from India to Italy, and we were all living there. He was visiting India at the time, I believe it was. And And he had a mala from Lahiri Mahashaya, which is now at the Ananda Shrine of the Masters. And he had just received it. And he was just so thrilled. He just called us over to the car and said, come hold this. And he gave it to each one of us. And it was just his way always to not hold, this is just for me, I'll just receive the blessings, always to share with others what he had. And he would have us going out singing, sharing the music all around Italy. When he first wrote various songs in the oratorio, Christ Lives, and Swamiji would say, no, just go out, just go share this, go sing in front of the churches. And so we'd go into the piazza in Assisi, maybe 10 or 15 of us, and we'd stand and we sing these songs in front of the churches. Sometimes Swamiji would be there, sometimes he wouldn't. And, you were sort of a little bit embarrassed because it was just people just walking by. Few would stop, but not a whole lot. But we were just singing out with joy. And sometimes it sounded good. I remember once Swamiji was there listening to us, and we asked afterwards, Swamiji, how was it? Did it sound okay? And he says, well, you looked like angels. That was his response, meaning it didn't sound all that good, but we looked like angels. So we were still putting out the best vibration of love and joy that we could. And when we came to India, he just told all the teachers, just get out, go out, share, get master's teachings out, go all over India. He would bless each of us one by one and just send us out the door. And our whole thrust at Ananda is, yes, we receive from the masters, we receive from Divine Mother, but then we go out and we share with others. I'm just coming from a wonderful weekend of meditation group leaders retreat in Chandigarh, where there were 20 of us, maybe 25 of us. And it was so touching because everybody in the room wanted to share. That's why they were there. There were group leaders from Hyderabad and Chandigarh and various other places, Jaipur and others who will go out generally and help. And we just were there for 2 days, meditating together, chanting together, wonderful kirtan, and just talking about how can we share more? How can we open up more groups so that we can share more and give people master's teachings? And everyone had ideas and was enthusiastic and inspired. And one of my good friends shared a beautiful story of when she started our meditation group in Delhi, that there Sangha, we couldn't do programs at a certain place that was in Delhi, and we needed a place. And she said, well, I'll open up my home and you can start here. So we began to go to her house. Her name is Vibha. And it was just wonderful at her house, the satsangs, but she did it because she wanted to share. And I remember a time when she had a family emergency and it was very critical. It was a crisis, but still she said, no, I'm going to go there. She was going to London, but she said, no, the house is open. You all come. And we said, no, we're going to come and we're going to pray for your family. And her family, it was one of her family members, they got better. We all stayed there and we prayed. And so as you share with others, then Divine Mother takes care of you. I've never seen it to fail. All of us can do something. I remember there was a time when Swamiji was going on a radio program, and people were, the radio announcer was there and some Ananda people, and maybe it was the second one, I can't remember, but he said, the radio announcer said, well, actually, I don't want you to come on, I want him. And it was Haridas, one of our acharyas here. And so Swamiji thought, oh my gosh, what is he going to say? He was brand new on the path, but the man said, I want to hear from somebody who's new what Ananda is about. And so he put Haridas on the radio program, and one of the questions he asked about was the astrological bangle. And what does hardly anybody know about that, really? But Harita said, well, I'm really not sure what it does, but my guru, he told us to wear it, and I'm his disciple, and I got one, and I just feel in tune with him by wearing it. And that was just a wonderful answer. And Swamiji said afterwards, he said, that's not what I would have said, but it was a very good answer. I mean, he said enough so that a person could understand it was sincere. So all of us can reach out to people, greeting them, sending notes, doing healing prayers, going to support at a center, going to bring prasad or flowers, however we can. And as you do it, feel like it's coming from Divine Mother to offer to others, and not that it's something that it's just for yourself or from yourself. I was remembering another beautiful story I want to read to you, but a couple of more things before we get to that, about the fire at Ananda village. I wasn't there then, I came a year afterwards. But interestingly enough, what did Swamiji do in the community after the fire? I think it was like 3 months afterwards, 3 or 4 months. Swamiji took 12 or 15 people out on tour. They didn't stay back and everybody crying and wondering what to do. There were people organizing and taking care of what was next in the community, but Swamiji felt Divine Mother, she wants us to go out. This is a part of why it happened. We need to go out and share with other people. So they went on a nationwide tour for 3 or 4 months, or maybe it was even longer. And they reached so many people, and many people came to Ananda after that. Now you would think, well, why didn't they stay and rebuild? And well, some people were there, but Swamiji felt, no, we can't do this just for ourselves. We have to share Master's light and blessings. And from that, Ananda just began to really flourish. Many people came, the community got rebuilt from the donations and the people who came back. And so all of us need to remember, sharing with others, as Master said, the instrument is blessed by what flows through it. And to be in tune with me, serve my work. And finally, I've had my own struggles with that because I'm, as you know, been learning Hindi for quite a long time. And I enjoy Hindi, but it's not easy. And I study and study. I have a wonderful teacher, Renu, and but I would much rather not speak Hindi than speak Hindi. But what draws me to do it? Because I need to do it, for one, to get out of myself. And the other thing is, all I have to do is look at the students' faces who don't understand English. And I see them and they're just really wanting to learn. And so put yourself in a situation. Doesn't have to be a comfortable situation for you all the time, but say, no, Master, this is helping Master's work. I'm his channel. I'm going to learn whatever it is, or take the meditation teacher training or the yoga teacher training, or get up there and do the Sunday satsang, or do the reading, or chant, or learn the harmonium, or something that's out of your comfort zone. And I can testify that some of my greatest blessings in my life have come from sharing with people in Hindi, because it's something that's needed. It's something I need to do, and I feel Master is so very pleased. Finally, I want to share this really beautiful story from this book, How to Love and Be Loved. It's at the end of the book. It's called Buddha and the Courtesan. It's a short story. Buddha and his disciples underwent a curious incident, which left the disciples for a time puzzled as to the character of their master. The Buddha and his disciples were all vowed to celibacy and the renunciation of carnal love. And yet, one day, when the great Buddha and his disciples were resting in the cool shade of a tree, a courtesan approached him, attracted by the glowing body and face of the master. No sooner had she seen the celestial face of the Lord Buddha than she fell in love with him, and with open arms ran to Buddha to embrace and kiss him exclaiming loudly, "Oh, beautiful shining one, I love thee." The celibate disciples were astonished to hear the Buddha's reply to the courtesan. He said, "Beloved, I love thee too. Do not touch me now, however, not yet." The courtesan replied, "You call me beloved, and to me you are my beloved. Why then do you object to my touching you?" The great Buddha replied, "Beloved, again I tell thee, I will touch thee later, not now. Then I will prove my true love for thee." The disciples were shocked, thinking that the master had fallen in love with the courtesan. Years later, as Buddha was meditating with his disciples, he suddenly cried out, "I must go. My beloved, the courtesan, is calling me. She needs me now. I must fulfill my promise to her." The disciples ran after the master, hoping somehow to save him, though he seemed madly in love with the courtesan. The great Buddha, followed anxiously by his worried disciples, came to the same tree where they had met the courtesan before. There she lay, with her beautiful body covered with putrefying, odorous smallpox sores. The disciples cringed and held themselves far away from her. The Buddha, however, took her decaying body, held it like a child, and placed her head on his lap, whispering to her, "Beloved, I have come to prove my love to thee and to fulfill my promise to touch thee. I have waited a long time to demonstrate my true love, for I love thee when everyone else has ceased loving thee. I touch thee when all thy summer friends fear to touch thee anymore." Thus speaking, Buddha healed the courtesan and invited her, now purged by him of all carnal desire, to join his growing band of disciples. Om Shanti Shanti. What a beautiful story. I'll ask Natendra to join me online now.
I'll just share the list of questions. The first question, Dhyanaji, is, I am new and don't feel I can give anything to anyone yet. So can I really also serve as a channel?
I think you decide. When I was new, I decided on my own. I didn't wait for anybody to ask me. I just said, Master said, serve, I'm going to serve. He's my guru. He certainly has light and vibrations and blessings and grace. Maybe he'll share them with me if I try to share them with others. Maybe if I'm open and receptive, he'll actually use me as a channel. Maybe if I ask him to use me as an instrument, perhaps he will. And start in small ways. And I would say every day, all of you, ask Master, use me today. Today. Not when I become a disciple, when I take Kriya, when I go into Samadhi, when I realize, use me today as a channel. And I met one of my neighbors at the airport just this past weekend when I was going to Chandigarh, a lady elderly lady, must be in her 80s. I see her walking in the community. And she was all by herself. And first we passed each other. I said hello, and she was sort of in a rush. Then I saw she was going to the same place as I was. She was at the same gate. And I went up and I talked to her, and she was by herself. And I just knew she shouldn't be by herself. So then some other friends, Jaita joined, and Vipha, we were all going to Chandigarh. And I said, just here, we'll walk on the plane with you. She was sitting near us. And afterwards, so just join us. We took her out, we waited for her. And I just thought, I can't leave her alone. But people think, oh, what about my life? Oh, my somebody's picking me up. Well, let me just rush off. And I basically was saying, join in the joy of the Sangha. And she was just so touched by that. It was just a little thing. You don't have to teach and preach and do all these things. Just think, like Swamiji said, just smile even if people don't smile back. Say hello. And there's so many ways to give. But the main thing is give God's love. You don't have to say you're doing it. I give. Just be it. And it will naturally happen. I see people at classes, and in the front row, I mean, I remember some classes Swamiji would give. And this was like when we were touring around, and the first row is important. If somebody's asleep or looking at their watch or reading a book, or it's just terrible. Even when you're in a class, just beam energy, put out energy. I know one of our monks, Rehant, who came from South Africa, he was in the home study course, and he dropped everything. In South Africa, he came and joined the monastery. But the first day he was here, he just came from the airport. He came to West Delhi with Vineet, one of the other monks, for the Hindi Kriya that I was doing. I was trying to do. I did the best I could, and it turned out well, thank God. But Rehant was in the front row. He didn't understand one word of Hindi, and he smiled the whole time. And that really helped me to get through that Kriya. So there's so many ways you can be supportive and share the light with others.
Thank you, Dhyanaji. The next question is, I feel shy and inadequate sometimes. So is it absolutely necessary to serve as a channel for the masters? And how can I get over this shyness?
Yeah, what can I say? I used to be shy, believe it or not, but I just broke through, because I would say try it. Try not serving as a channel and try serving as a channel. You have so much joy. There's so much light. There's so much energy flowing through. You just feel so uplifted, and there's more power flowing through you, burning up karma with masters' power flowing through you. You just make so much more spiritual progress. So I think it's up to you. Now, if you want to get rid of shyness, I would do affirmations. I would be with other strong people who are happy and joyful. I would serve with them. I would do other things, service at the center, service through online home study. Ask Master to help you to break out of it. I think, when we came to Ananda, it's your dharma to do certain things. And it was certainly mine to share Master's teachings, but I just didn't want to. I'm telling you, I was scared to death. And Swamiji didn't care. He just said, well, you must do it. My first talk, I was in San Francisco, of all places. I mean, it could have been some little town where nobody was there, but it was San Francisco at our Ananda Center. My notes fell on the floor. I had to either going to get down there and crawl down and pick up the notes or talk. And I just spoke. And it was, it turned out okay. And it got better and better and better. So I think you have to forget yourself. The thing is, everybody wants to look good all the time. You don't. You don't look good all the time. I think you have to realize that. I remember when Swamiji asked me to sing that song Cloisters for a group in Italy. We were at this big dinner. There were maybe 30 people, and he had just written a song. And I just didn't want to sing that song at all. I was sitting next to him. Dhyana, would you sing that song? I want everyone to hear it. It was terrible. I'm telling you, it was awful. I was embarrassed. I didn't feel good at all about it. Nobody laughed, but I was like, long I called you. It was the worst song ever. But next time I sang it better, then it got better, then it got better. So, I mean, Swamiji was more, if it was your Dharma, he pushed you into the deep end of the pool and said, start swimming. It wasn't, he didn't care if your ego was big. I mean, you had to get rid of the ego. So just be happy and be grateful that Divine Mother's giving you a chance to inferiority complex or superiority complex. They're both ego. I think you just got to know it. It's not like, oh, I'm nobody, I'm nothing, I can't do anything. That's just as bad as I'm everything, So neither is good. Okay, so next.
We have a live question.
Okay.
It is hard for me to leave my sick family member and reach the center to serve. So how do I cope with that?
Healing prayers from home. No? There's a lot of IT work that happens at home, isn't it? Website work, if you do that, database work, if you do that. There are things you can do at home as well, but healing prayers for sure you can do from home. Just get names every week and pray for people. No? That's serving as a channel, isn't it not? Yeah. You can help get Swamiji's books out, bookstores, master's books. You can buy the books, that's the way to serve as a channel. So I think the best thing is inwardly ask Master, what do you want me to do? I ask him every day. What do you want me to do? Not, oh, I want to do this. I've done this. I don't like this. I can't do this. I'm shy. I don't want to do. I don't have any money. I can't leave the house. Just say, Master, what do you want? And whatever you want, I want. If you help me, I'll do it. I mean, look at all the things people are doing. We've been here almost 20 years in India. It wasn't easy to come here. There were several times you just went, oh my God, what are we doing here? But I mean, people are still here. It wasn't easy for Swamiji. Swamiji spent the last 10 years, but he did it. He was, why did he come? Master sent him. All of you, he sent him for India. Look what's happening in India now from one person coming over here. So I think we all owe it to Master to be his instruments, his hands and his feet, whatever we can do.
Yeah, Dhyanaji, one last question. What did you do when you first started on the path to serve Master's work? And how did that help in your spiritual progress?
I excelled from that point. I wasn't excelling before that. I was kind of sleeping. I thought I was excelling, but I wasn't. What did I do? I went to the meditation group. I learned the harmonium. I tried to play the harmonium at the group. I brought snacks for the group meetings. I went up to Ananda. The biggest thing I did was I joined the Karma Yoga program, and I stayed there for several months. And my biggest seva was in the kitchen, washing the dishes. That's how I was serving. Mountains of dishes. And then until I did those dishes until I was ready to open myself to Master more and get rid of ego. And interestingly enough, a Nadi reader told me that was to level your ego down, washing those dishes. And so I served my time in the kitchen, and everybody did something, shoveling snow or building buildings or digging ditches or all kinds of things, starting businesses. Jyotishji started the incense business, incense and oils. Everybody did whatever they could do to make Ananda what it is today. And I would say, put your hand in there and find some way too that you can help build Master's work through Ananda that Swamiji has created. God bless you all. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.